So here we go. Thanks everybody. Thanks for joining. And I'm here today with Rocco and Josh. So Rocco, you are the CEO of Tango. So the tool we're gonna talk about today. The team will be joining along the way, and before we jump right into the demo, I wanted to take a few minutes to first maybe if you can introduce Tango and the original idea behind it and a bit of the backstory. We sort of like to know a bit who's the team, how they started, why they started with this, and where they're heading, what's the big vision. And then we can go down to what's the product today, what are the latest news. But yeah, first, what's the one liner for Tango?
First of all, thanks. Thanks for staying late. I do not like punishment enough to be the CEO of Tango at all. I'm the head of
my bad.
I'm the head of marketing. I joined the founders. We have 3 founders. They have a very classic startup tale. They met at Harvard Business School and dropped out
before.
Yeah, they met at Harvard Business School. They won a startup competition and they dropped out to pursue their company. And that was 3 years ago. I joined about a year and a half ago as the head of marketing, and we're about 50 people, but we're a fast growing startup, so we're we tripled this year. We're going to double next year. We're completely remote, and we have people all over US, North America, and Europe in every conceivable city and state. So some of you actually know Tango. I've heard some of you have used it to create documentation. Right. Here was the original idea behind Tango. There's a million knowledge bases, and there's some pretty good ones. There's some bad ones like SharePoint and Confluence, but there's some newer ones.
No name.
Yeah, well, I don't have any skin in the game. There's some good ones like Notion, and there's even like some project management tools that Monday, Asana, Airtable, right? There's tools that have these sort of knowledge-based features, and they're really great in theory at organizing content, but it's so hard to get good, up-to-date content in there. The process for creating how-to guides before Tango was the same since word processing was invented. You take a screenshot, cobble it into a doc, write out the descriptions, and it can take you hours to create a how-to guide for a simple process. So we created a Chrome extension that would do this for you. We shipped it in fall of 2021. Since then, we were the number 3 product on Product Hunt for the entire year in 2021. We now have 1 million users, and we have people that every day people write reviews for us on the Chrome store that says, "This changed my life. I used to spend hours to create a how-to guide, and now I spend 2 minutes." And so that we built a really nice business doing that. But there's one problem that we realized. You can create all the how-to guides in the world, and we love that. If your job is to create training material, we save you hours of frustrating, tedious work. But you can create all the training guides in the world, and you can put them in Teams or Slack or Notion or email them around, all these things. But People hate how-to guides. They hate reading how-to guides. A lot of us stopped writing out how-to guides and started making Loom videos or recording our Zoom walkthroughs. We've done research. Turns out people hate watching videos also. They don't want to watch your 12-minute training video to go through a process in Airtable that in theory should only take 30 seconds or 60 seconds. So we solved the problem of creating the how-to guide, but we realized in order to really make an impact on both the trainer, the expert, the operations person who's got to do the training, but also all the users that need to use the software, we had to reinvent the format of experiencing the how-to guide, learning the process and adopting the process. And that's actually the main thing I want to show you today, because I think that's where Tango can help you increase your value and deliver the most value to your customers. Yeah, we make it easy for you to make how-to guides, but what I'm going to show you is a product that we delivered about a year ago called Guidance, that actually makes the process of using the product that you built in Airtable or any other low-code app and getting end users who have never seen it before to adopt it the first time on the first day in the first minute without watching a video or reading some long how-to guide. So that's what I'm excited about, and that's been the evolution of our journey.
Okay, yeah, because I knew, Tango.
Lucien, can I just jump in quickly with just a quick comment? I want to just make a quick point around everything Rocco said about the potential for this tool. Really, what we wanted to do is kind of combine what Rocco just described with the power of no-code app development. Right. And just quickly by way of intros, I had previously been the head of partnerships at Airtable. I've worked closely with Lucien over the past couple of years. Some of you may have seen my name pop up on various Airtable things. The reason I wanted to bring Rocco to this meeting is because the biggest pain point and challenge that I've heard from no-code developers and consultants over the course of my time spent in this industry is the problems with creating those how-to guides, that documentation, right? Compounded by the fact of everything Rocco said around how users don't want to interact with it. So I think there's incredible potential to combine Tango's capabilities with no-code development to deliver a really exceptional experience to your client around the software apps that you're building with Airtable and other no-code tools. So I just wanted to make that quick point, Lucien. Sorry to steal your floor there. I'll just hand the mic back to you.
No problem. I think that's an excellent teaser for what's to come. So now we're all impatient. We thought we were going to see, great how-to guides, but now we're even more excited. So over to you. I don't know, Rocco, Josh. Rocco, you guiding the demo. If you want to have picture-in-picture, it's hidden behind the more option button, 3 dots button. You have the open picture-in-picture option.
Okay, cool. I'll maybe I'll try that. So just one slide before I jump into the demo. We think of Tango Guidance and the experience I'm going to show you that makes it incredibly brainless and easy to adopt processes in the Airtable apps that you build. We think of this as real-time enablement. And I'm going to compare, as I do the demo, real-time enablement to what we call traditional training. So in traditional training, if you have finished building this incredible experience product on Airtable for your customer, for them to use it, you have to create all this material, schedule a bunch of training sessions, build a bunch of PowerPoint slides, and then what you're asking the end user to do is actually quite difficult. You're asking them to show up, pay attention in this long training session, memorize all the processes. If they forget the process, which they invariably will, you're asking them to then go search a knowledge base, find the right thing, read it or watch it, switch back and forth between the video or the document and the app you've built for them. We think the whole premise is flawed in that. So this new idea powered by our product Tango Guidance, we call it real-time enablement. And I'm going to show you a demo of that. So I'm going to skip over the experience of creating workflows or how-to guides with Tango, since some of you have seen that. And honestly, it's free. You can go in right now into a free account that we've created for you and just make how-to guides. You'll see that it takes a couple minutes to, so for example, I made this guide for the sake of this demo just now in less than 5 minutes, just before this call. I'm going to skip over that part and show you the important part that your customer experiences. So one really cool thing about Tango, and that I think is really important for your business, I would imagine that most of the real business processes that your customers have around the Airtable apps that you build for them are not constrained to just Airtable. So a lot of real business processes might start in their CRM or their ERP, bounce over to Airtable for the app that you built for them for some of the steps, and then bounce into another app like their email or something like that. Tango is really great at stitching together business processes that occur over multiple software applications. In this case, I'm going to show you an example of a business process that one of your customers might follow that goes from Airtable into Salesforce. So you can see here that this is a beautiful how-to guide with screenshots that I created in Tango right before this demo. You'll see that all the screenshots have been cropped, annotated with this orange circle. Our AI automatically writes the step names and descriptions for you, which saves you a lot of time when you create it. But I want to show you what happens when I click this Guide Me button, okay? So imagine now I'm an employee of one of your customers, and you've delivered an Airtable app, and now I have to go in and actually use it for the first time. So this Airtable app that I'm going to look at, Josh actually built. It's sort of like a system we use to manage all of our partners like yourselves. So imagine I'm a sales rep, and Josh has entered a new partner lead into this Airtable app. And it's my job to get the lead, put it into our CRM Salesforce, and then follow up on it. So instead of reading this document to learn the process, instead I just click this Guide Me button. Watch what it's doing. It's opening. Oh man, we're having a lot of technical.
The demo effect.
There we go. It's opening two things. It's opening a Tango side panel for me that has this how-to guide embedded right inside of the Airtable experience that I need to use. But more importantly, look at what it's done. It's taking over my Airtable app and highlighting right on the screen what I need to do. So we have this saying, we make the process brainlessly easy for your employees of your customers, because all they have to do is follow the orange box. So I go up here and I click Tango PRM.
It's like the onboarding of Airtable, but that you would have made yourself custom to the solution that you built with Airtable.
Yeah, you or the customer, probably you will create these business processes. So one of the things they need to do is go through this. So say you built this PRM application for them. And now one of the things that one of the employees needs to do is use this PRM and you built for them in Airtable to follow up on leads in Salesforce. In order to do that, they don't need to memorize the process, watch a video, read the documentation. They just need to follow the orange box. So I clicked on the Tango PRM. Now it's telling me click on any partner name. Okay, so the AI knows that we can click any of these to be successful. I'll click Alegria. And now it's saying click any contact name. So again, it knows there's multiple contacts here, and I can successfully move forward in the process by clicking any of them. So I'll click Lucien. Okay. Now it's saying, okay, it wants me to get the email address. So it's saying drag the highlighted text, copy the email. There we go. Copy the email address. Now, look what just happened. The next step in this business process for me as a sales rep is in Salesforce. Notice that I didn't even have Salesforce open. I didn't need to open a tab and open it and log in. Tango automatically switched me from the Airtable app that you built for me into Salesforce, because that's where the next step is. And now it's highlighting the screen in Salesforce. It's telling me to click leads. It's telling me to click create new. It's telling me to click lead. It's telling me to click email, copy the email that I put in there, type in the first name. It knows I'm done typing. All right, if I spelled that wrong, it knows when I'm done, and now I click save. So I've never done this process before as an employee of one of your customers, and I just got my hand held right through it across multiple applications. The one you built for me, plus the other one I need to use in conjunction with the one you built for me. And it was so brainless for me. All I had to do was follow the orange box. Now, let me tie this back to one final thing before we open it up for questions. You can imagine how this would lead to deeper process adoption and faster time to value, because anyone can just use your app right away in the first minute of the first day you deliver it. But let me show you how you can also use this to prove higher ROI to make your customer happy. We have an analytics capability built in that shows them exactly who is adopting each process and how high the adoption is, so that they can see on a team by team level, individual level, or on a workflow level, do we have any bottlenecks? Are people dropping off? In this example, a lot of people are dropping off on step 4. So we know we need to look at step 4. Maybe it's a problem with the process we created. Maybe something in the app we built is not intuitive. And so we can fix that and troubleshoot it. So instead of you just trying to tell your customer to measure the ROI by looking at how many people have logged in or seeing if they're getting complaints or questions, you have a much more scientific, analytical way to prove, A, if people need help, and B, once these numbers get up to the point where 90% of people are adopting it 90% of the time, you can now prove that your app is getting value in a way that you couldn't do before.
Wow. Really impressive. I didn't expect this personally. So pretty efficient and elegant. And this sounds like a problem that we have with every single solution that we deliver. And yeah, that's pretty amazing, because yes, we build custom solutions, but then they don't have the custom onboarding. And with this tool, they would have it. Yeah, pretty amazing. Quite a lot of questions. I don't know if you wanted to cover something else before we jump into the questions.
No, let's jump in.
The first one is maybe not the most fun one, but what does it mean for the data? So say the data that we have in our base in Airtable is like very sensitive, proprietary, and in Europe they're like super freaked out about data sovereignty and they want data to stay in Europe. So what's the deal with that, or how do you handle this kind of objections on your side?
Yeah.
I just want to tackle
We
this
have-
this hot subject first, so we can focus on the most.
No, it's very important. We have a feature called Secure Blur that scans the processes you're creating it and looks for names, company names, pictures, personal information, and automatically blurs that out in the how-to guide, so that the version of the guide, let me share my screen again.
The guide itself will be,
yeah, it's completely entire screen. So let me show you an example. Here's that original how-to guide I made. Notice here, let's see. So one of the things, so like when we highlighted this company name, let's see. I don't think I have Secure Blur turned on in this demo instance I'm using. So maybe what I'll do is send you a video of how this works later, but I can show you quickly.
What you mean is that it would blur out the other data so that it doesn't show up in the guide itself, right?
Yeah, I'll show you the manual version.
Yeah.
So look, here's the manual version. I can click blur and blur out all these sensitive.
Yeah, simple by effective.
Oh, here's a cool version. There's a find matches. So if this thing I blurred out appears in 10 screenshots, you can click a button, find matches. The AI is looking for that across. It's saying, okay, don't worry, that doesn't appear. Actually, yeah, here we go. So here's some likely matches and some less likely matches. And then we can just click blur one step and we permanently blur it. But we have a version of that automatically does this without even you having to manually blur the step. And that's in our premium offering, which I may not have turned on in this demo instance, but it just automatically looks for anything in the library that looks sensitive and blurs it out for you.
All right, so that clears it out for the guides. For while so for the documentation, I mean, while you have the guides on, is it able to read the data? Is the data sent to some servers in the US, or how does it work, or does it just care about where you are in the screen? And
so everything that I was doing as an end user was powered by the Chrome extension. So
okay, so it's all just in the browser.
Yeah, it's just in the browser. The only thing being transmitted to the Tango server is what you capture in the how-to guide itself. But if it's been blurred out, then it doesn't get transmitted to Tango, and all of the end user computing is happening in the Chrome extension in the browser.
Got it. And related to this, does using the guide impacts does it impact performance at all, or to some extent? I guess a bit, but not noticeably, or
I mean, not in a way that we've ever measured. We do have certain users absolutely sometimes say like, hey, when I'm running guidance in the Chrome extension, things slow down a little bit. But we've never, not in a way that we have ever measurably noticed at scale. It really depends on if they have trouble with other Chrome extensions slowing things down, then it could be the same.
And this looks really exciting, and we're seeing more and more with AI the ability to be able to ask questions, and the AI knows about the context of everything. And for the example that you took, Airtable are going to introduce, we were chatting about this yesterday during their conference, like they're going to introduce some AI Q&A version where we're going to be able to query just use the AI to ask questions about the data, or how to do, I guess, the data. So will you be going into the direction where we'll be also able to sort of query about the process or how to use the tool?
Yeah.
Like if we've built all the documentation, I guess that's the hard step. We've built all the context, the knowledge for the solution that would be able to guide us on demand, because I don't necessarily know which guide I need to use, or
Yeah, exactly. So a couple things. So look here. Let me share again. So the Chrome extension already follows you around. So look here, if I need to do something in Salesforce and I'm not sure what to do, I just come up and click the Chrome extension, and it shows me all of the guides that
got it. Yeah.
have been made. And look here, the one that I went through, enter Airtable partner leads in Salesforce. So here's a great example. Let's say that I know Salesforce, but I don't even know how to use Airtable. Let me close this Airtable tab. If I'm in Salesforce and I see, oh, what I need to do is enter Airtable partner leads into Salesforce. When I click this, the first step is not in Salesforce, it's in Airtable. So again, see what it did? It intelligently opened Airtable for me and just starts the process there by showing me to click on the Tango PRM. So there are a lot of things over time with that Chrome extension that we can do to help the user find the knowledge and the process they need. We're probably not going to go down the path of like building a chatbot in that you talk to.
Got it. But be able to find the guides, and
we want to bring the knowledge as close to where the user is using the process as humanly possible, so they don't have to leave and go to a knowledge base to find it, switch tabs, switch context.
Got it. I know you have a hard stop, so I'm going to thank you and maybe just ask a very easy question to conclude, which is, if you want to try Tango, I assume that you use Tango itself to explain how to use Tango.
We do, of course. Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
That's
for the
nice
easy
when
question.
you with your product.
Natalie and Didier, and I see some others put their video on, and I have to run to do another webinar. So I'm sorry if you had a question and I didn't get a chance to answer. I would love to come back another time, or
I will pass on the recording of the demo.
Email.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, but I think the goal for today is really achieved in the sense that we really understood the product, and we can immediately see. I think it's obviously good for you when you are able to demonstrate the value of the product so quickly and effectively. So I think the goal is achieved here, and we'll follow up for the next steps.
I'm grateful that all of you stayed up late in your workday to join this. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Rocco. See you soon.